So we'll see the input, output, and import concept. So obviously, for if you want to take an input in a C, you use a scanf. Similarly, in Python, we use input. If you want to take an input, we have to write an input. If you want to print, there is a print. So that in different programming language, different functions are there. So in the Python, there is a built-in function like print input to perform this input-output task. So the number of times we have used this print statement. If you want to print, for example, print any particular sentence, simply write down this print and whatever you want to print in a single quotation or double quote. Whatever you will write in single quote or double quote, it will display as it is, right? And suppose if you want to print a value of a particular variable value, for example, here a is equals to 5, and if you want to print this a value, so this is the syntax that you have to remember. So print in single quote, whatever you want to write, the value of a is, comma, and a. So this is the simple format. Directly you can write a. For example, suppose if I am writing here, for example, a is equals to 5. For example, a is equals to 5. And suppose I am writing print of a. So I will get the answer, like a is 5, right? So here I got the answer, that is a is equal to 5. Now, suppose if I want to write like the value of a, the value of a is, so whatever statement you want to write, you have to write in single quote or double quote. So the same statement, the value of a is 5. So as I told you, you can write as you can use a single quote or double quote for the same. The Python would display the same answer. Okay. So you have to remember this very simple syntax. This is a syntax. Whatever if you want to print here, you can write anything and it will be printed as it is. Okay. And after comma, it will be like in a C. In a C, you write in a single quote like %d, then completed, comma, and then the value. And for the output. So similarly here, you no need to write %d, %f. Directly, it is very simple. It is higher level language. Directly you are writing a, so your a will be printed here. Now the second is the syntax. As we have seen here, how we got the output. So this is a syntax, simple syntax. So similarly in detail, if you would see the print hash object. Object is what value you want to be printed. That comes here, the object. For example, a pointing to the particular memory location, and whatever value is there, that value would be printed over there. So object, right? So here 5, so 5 would be printed. Say SCP. SCP is what? The separator. SCP is a separator. Separator is used between the values. It default into a space character. So if whatever you want to separate in between the output, you can use this separator. You can use either the space, you can use either any special symbol, anything. Whatever you want to add in between the different variable, you can add this separator. And obviously the third one is the end. So after all, whatever values are there, whatever value you are specifying here, all values are printed. We need to print the end. End is printed. And end means it by default, it would be printed in a new line. So /n for the new line. And file is equals to system dot std out. So here this file object where the values are printed and the default value is sys.stdio. So here the values, whatever the values are there, these values are printed. And this sys.stdout is a default value. The concept is very simple. The same thing, whatever we have seen here in the syntax, the same thing you could see here. Suppose if I want to print the different values, so here I can use a different separator. Like here, simple, I'm separating by the comma 1, 2, 3, 4. So here you will find in the output, you will get the output 1, 2, 3, 4 separated by the space. And suppose if you want to, instead of this space, suppose if I want to add a asterisk or a star, so simple, I will put here this asterisk symbol and it will be separated by this asterisk, the star symbol. Now print 1, 2, 3, 4 separated by hash. So I have printed here hash and n. Instead of, if you are not writing by default, it would go to the new line. If you're writing and, so at the end it will print as an and. The same thing we can see. Like suppose I'm writing print 1, 2, 3, 4. And if I run this, so it is separated by this. Suppose if I want to separate it by stars, so same thing I am writing here, separator. Separator is equal to the star. If I print here, so here every value is separated by the star. Suppose if I want to separate by the hash and I want to add and at the end, so this way. So as we have seen this syntax, the same syntax we have implemented here, right? Now the next thing is output formatting. Actually, in first year, many time it is you have to format your output, right? Many time you have formatted your output by adding a simple the many asterisk, as symbol, the space, tab space, right? To look your output properly, right? Similarly, suppose if you want to print your output in between the sentence, that time how actually you can take this value in between your sentence. So here, to use this, we have to use a format. Format to format your output. Now suppose x is equal to 5 and y is equals to 10. It could be your different output of your program, and this values you want to print in a statement. That time actually we have to use this format. For example, the value of x is x value, that is 5, and y is, that is 10. So I want to be print like the value of x is 5 and y is 10. So how it is possible? By the format, right? Because if you are not using this, it will be printed like the value of x is and y is 5, 10. No, but how I want the output should be, the value of x is 5 and y is 10. So for that time, this format we use and their format is very simple, like format, whatever value you want to print x, comma, y. So in this curly bracket, it will take the first value and the second will take the second value. Suppose if you want to interchange the value, like first if you want to print y and then you want to print x. So yes, you can use their indexing value. Like you can specify their index value, like here, this is the index value 0 and this one is 1. So if I am putting here 0 and 1, so obviously in the output it will be printed like x is a 5 and y is a 10. But suppose if I am writing 1 and 0 here, it would print as reverse. Like 1 is what? 10 and 0 is what? 5. Even though I have written here in the format x comma y, but still here I have used this indexing value. That's why in the output it printed as x is a 10 and y is a 5. And suppose if you want to print, if you want to add some message in the statement, like here, the how I used, like hello name. So here you can write like L is equal to X and yum is equals to Y. And if you here you are writing L and yum, still it works. Like here you can understand name, comma greeting. What is a greeting? Greeting is good morning and name is what? John. And hello John, good morning. This I want to print. And again here you could see the greeting I have written at first and name at second. But because of there's a keyword argument that I have used in the format string, that is name and greeting, it is printed like a hello John, good morning. So John at the beginning and good morning at the latter because of this argument. The same thing we'll see the practically. The same format, x is equals to 5 and y is equals to 10. The same example I'm considering here. And print the value of x is and y is, okay, comma, dot format x. See, the value of x is 5 and y is 10. So here that you have to remember, here we are not using comma. Instead of comma, you have to use a dot format x comma y, right? And as I told you, here you can use the indexing value. Suppose I'm using 1 and here I'm using 0. So it would print it reverse, like x is a 10 and y is 5. X is a 10 and y is 5. So you can access, you can use these value here by using the index. Now suppose the same way if you want to print another statement, like print that another statement that we have seen, hello, and here I am giving an argument like a name, comma, greeting. These are the argument that I want to pass, dot format. So if I have using argument, so here I have to initialize argument for the particular value. Like I want to print good morning, greeting, and another argument is that is a name, and the name is, for example, John is a name. So now output hello John, good morning. So the two way actually we are printing this value in between your statement by using the index, by using the argument. Okay, students, are you with me? Are you getting whatever we are discussing here? Kindly acknowledge in a chat box. Okay, thank you, thank you. And whatever we are discussing, you should practice. If you are practicing, then only you will get the confidence. Okay, as I told you earlier, in programming, you have to practice. Because after all, after completion of your graduation, you have to program in a company, right? The same thing. I have told you already, if you want to learn mathematics, you have to solve a problem. If you are only reading problem, it would be difficult for you to remember and solve in the exam, because many students have experienced the same thing. If you are only reading mathematical problem, it would be difficult many times to solve the same problem in the exam, right? So if you are practicing from your second year, automatically your confidence will increase. And I hope uh, you like this Python programming, which is very simple compared to the C programming. Uh, so actually, do you like this compared to the C? Okay. Now the next concept that we'll see, that is the operator. Just like this modulo operator we'll use here. Again, to format your output. To format your output. So x is equals to, for example, this is a float value 12.34567889. So suppose if you want to print only the only two decimal value. So that time we use this modulo operator, like print the value of x is this format. You have to remember, like mod of 3.2f and mod of x. By using this, only two decimal value will be printed, like 12.34. And the second one is, suppose instead of this 2, I'm writing 4. So that time this 4 decimal value will print it, like 12.3457. The same thing, we could see here. Yes, Shubham Mora, actually you have a question, but we'll take your question at the end of the lecture. Actually, concatenate, by using the concatenation also, we can concatenate both the word. Yes, it is possible. We can easily connect both the word. But here actually, this is the only concept. Suppose if you want to use a variable in your output, that time this is another way. I can write anything here. It could be your, instead of this good morning, it could be the another string or any value. Here it is connected, like hello, good morning, John. It may happen if your statement is a long and it is not connected. That time actually you use this formatting. So both the features are available in Python. As per your requirement, you can use. Either you can uh, join both the string by using concatenation, or by using this format, you can add whatever the string you want to add in your output. Right. So both the features are available, and as per the requirement, actually we have to use. So as we have seen, suppose your float value having the multiple decimal point, which was 12, 6, 7, 9. And suppose if I want to print only the first, the value of x is, so here multiple decimal points are there. But if you are using this mod operator, so that time you will find whatever decimal value you are writing here, only that much decimal uh, numbers will be printed in your output. Instead of this 2, suppose I am making change here 4. So here 3, 5, 2 were there. Now I have made it 4. So here the 4 decimal pointed value would be printed here. So which is very simple. So as per our requirement, if you want to print multiple decimal points, so you can use this format in the output. Now the another thing is, suppose if you want to take an input from the user. Like up to here, we have seen whatever the variable value you want to use directly we have initialized in our program. But suppose if you want to take an input from the user, so this is the syntax, which is very simple compared to the C, C++, which is really very complex at the students level. Because the many students have committed mistake in printf and scanf only, right? But in Python, it is very simple. If you want to take input, simply here you can suppose the variable, whatever the value you want to add here. Here we can write like num is equals to input. We are taking input from the user input bracket, enter a number. For the user, if you want to do any message, so you can write your message in between a single quote or double quote, and it would be displayed like enter a number. And here, whatever value you are entering, it will assign to this num, and when you will print this output, you will get the output, which is very, very simple. So see, it is very simple in Python, which is very difficult in C. If you comparatively, if you will compare C and Python, right? Suppose this much is sufficient, right? And I'm printing this. So see, I got a box to enter my value because I went to 10. So this is 10 I have entered, and after the print, I got the output, that is a 10. But suppose I want to show one message to the users, so I can write here, enter a number, and the same message will be displayed here, enter a number. So I enter a number here, the 45. This is very simple. So I hope this much you have to remember. You want to input from the user, this is the only thing that you have to remember. Input, and then open close curly bracket. And whatever variable you want to assign your value, that value you have to use. And so by this way, actually, num1 is equals to this input. Similarly, suppose if you want to write here num2 the second input, and if you want to add, the sum is equals to num1 plus num2 and print of. When you will run this, so it will ask you num1, this 10 value assigned to num1. Then for second input, again is asking second input. So I'm putting a 20 value over there. It will assign to num2 and num1 plus num2, which should be 30. Okay, right. Why? Why the answer is 1020? You have to search this answer. Otherwise, I will tell you the same thing whenever this similar concept come in our lecture. It may be in the next lecture only. 10, 20, the output should be 30. But why it is 10, 20? So the reason is the Python by default take your input value as this answer you have to search. As what? And this is the reason only it is printing as 10, 20, not the answer, the 30. Right, Shubham Ora is a really bright student. I think he's good practicing or he has done different workshops. This is a very good thing. But this way only actually you will learn the program. You have to create your interest in the programming because by default it consider it as a string. And suppose if you want to consider it as for the number, we have to use int over there. Okay. So there are many good students, those who have responded here. Here we are adding a string like Kaustubh Sonar, Hardik, and yes, Rohan Badguje is saying put int in front of input. Right. The same thing. Okay. So this is the main the concept. Whatever you are in Python, whatever input you are giving, it will consider it as a string. And first you have to convert it into an integer. So we have to write int, then in bracket input, then in bracket. So we will get the answer. Right here, int. This way, actually, it will consider as an integer. Okay, so we'll discuss whenever the concept came in our discussion. Okay. Okay, that's the same here. The same thing is came in the next slide only. Okay, so num input the first number, the second number, and suppose if you want to add two numbers, so here we have considered it as a float, or here we consider it as an integer. So here you can convert it as an integer, or even while doing this addition also you can convert your string to integer or float. So here we did the same thing instead of here, and here we got the output. Now, so like the sum of the num1 and num2 is the third one. So here we have used index concept, and by indexing, this is 0th index, first index, second index, and the sum of 10 and 2.5 is 12.5. In this way, you will get the output. Now the next concept is Python import, because in today's topic we have seen how to take an input, the output formatting. Now the import is also the important concept, very important concept in Python, because in Python there are number of libraries are available, and as per the project you have to import this library. If you are using a data science, so number of libraries are available, SciPy, uh, math library, number of libraries are there, matplot library for the different purposes. So we have to import this library in our program. So actually how to import? So module is a file containing Python definition and statements. So Python modules have a file name and end with extension .py. So actually, suppose here if you want to import, even you can import any program, but here suppose if I want to import a math library. So import math, and suppose from the math library, there is a pi. So suppose I want to use this pi value in our program. So how you can use this pi value in the program by using the math.py. So how actually we can use simple import math, and if I want to print this value, so print math.py. So this is one way you can import this value. The second way is, suppose if you want to rename your this library, like import math as MP, right? Math as a MP. The shortcut name I want to assign here. So for the next time, instead of this math, you can write mp.py. Simple, the same way, another way. The third way is directly I am, instead of importing complete math library, I can import a particular pi value only. Like here from math, import a pi. So actually here, instead of complete math library, I'm importing only the pi. Print pi. So these are three ways actually you can import. Now it's the same thing we'll see here. Import math, then print math.py. The pi value will be printed here. The same thing, math as for example RC. And here I'm writing RC. Pi. So this is another way. Because whatever name I am giving here for this library, the same name I can use in our program whenever it is required. Or instead of this complete math library, I am importing only the pi. So from math, import pi and print pi. From math library, import only the pi. So instead of complete math library, only the pi we have included in our program. Okay, so here we have seen the input, output, as well as the input. Now the next concept is that is the operators. So I hope all you understood all these three concepts: input, how to take an input from the user; output, how to format output; as well as how to import a library. Okay, thank you. So we'll see the next concept, that is operators. So what are operators in Python? So actually the operators are special symbols in Python that carry out arithmetic or logical computation. Already actually you have used all these types of operators in the C programming. Arithmetic operators, comparison operators, logical operators, bitwise operators, assignment operators, special operator. So out of these, most of the operators you have used. I think the bitwise operator, special operator, you might have might have not used, but the other operators you have used in C programming. So we'll see all the operators are very easy. Already you know all these operators, but briefly we'll discuss. Later on, we can implement, we can use all these operators, all these concepts in our program. Now plus you know for the addition, right? So add two operands, or so x plus y, like x minus, minus is for the subtraction, multiplication, it is for the division, there's a modulus if you want a remainder. If you want a remainder, so the remainder of a division, that time we use this modulo operator, right? And this floor division. Suppose if your answer is 3.5, but you want only the 3, so this kind of lower division you want, that time we use this double slash. So division that result into whole number adjusted to the left in the number line. So you will get the whole number by using this lower division. This is exponent. Exponent is power. For example, 2 raised to 4, that time we use this exponent. Right? All the operators are very simple. The same thing in the program, you could see here like x is equal to 15, y is equal to 4. And suppose we are using this operator after addition, we'll get the addition, that is 19 minus 11. Here multiplication 60. Here division, that is 3.75. As this double slash is a floor division for the whole number, that is only the 3. So output is only the 3. And this exponent is a power, like x raised to y, 15 raised to 4. That is 50,625. These are the output. Okay, no need, actually we have a less time. So actually I will not implement this because it is very simple. Already you have used in your C programming. Okay, so we'll move to the next topic, that is comparison operators. So I think all the operators you have used in C programming, this greater than operator, less than operator, equal to operator, not equal to operator, greater than equal to operator, less than equal to operator. All the operators you might have used in C programming. Have you used these operators in your first year programming? All these arithmetic operators, all these comparison operators. Okay, good. So again, no need to again implement all this program because of we have less time. Like x, again here we are comparing x is greater than of y. Now x is greater than y. This is a false, right? So in the output you will get the false because x is not greater than y. X is less than of y, so true. You will get in the output that is a true. X is equals to y, false. So x is not equal to y, that is a true. Then x is greater than or equal to y, that is a false. X is less than or equal to y, that is a true. So simple, after the, obviously if you are comparing the two value, you will get either true or false. So there, the next one is a logical operator. Logical operator. So and, or, and not. So here you have to understand the difference. Like logical operator, and means what? True if both the operands are true. If both the operands are true, that time only this and operator will show you true. Or means true if either of the operands is a true. So if the two operands are there, one is a true or another one is a false, and if you are using true or false, so your answer would be the true, because either. one true is there. That's why your output is a true. In and true and a false, so output would be the false because both the operands are not the same. And not means simple the opposite. If the true is there, so false would be there, right? So not X. So here we'll see like X is equals to true and Y is equals to false. And suppose I am doing X and Y is, so output would be the false because both, and if both are the same, if it is a true truth, so output would be the true. X or Y, so in X or Y, if one of the value is a true, then here it is a true. And not X is for the false. Not X means if it is a true, so you will get the false. If it is a false, you will get the true. And the second one is a bitwise operator. So here actually you have to remember the difference in between A and D and symbolic and. In logical operator, we use this A and D and. But in a bitwise operator, we use this symbolic and. So in logical operator, actually here we are checking either it is a true or false. If both the values are same or different, and accordingly we are giving a respective output here. But here it is a bitwise operator. If you want to perform a bitwise operation on a bit, that time we use this logic and this symbolic and. Like here X is equal to 10, so in a binary the value is given 10 and Y is equals to 4. And suppose if you are performing this operation like and or not X or right shift left shift, so you have to remember this symbol for the not and for the or XOR, and this is for the or, this is for and. And suppose here we are doing an operation. An operation means either if both the values are same. If it is 1 1, so is a 1. If it is 0 1, so 0, right? 1 0 0 0 0 0. So by this logic, all the values are 0. So the same thing if you do here. X is equals to 10, Y is equals to 4, and suppose print X. So see the output is 0 because logically all the values are 0. So in OR actually it is like the addition. It means if it is 0 0, then only it is 0. Either or. If 1 is there, so here in addition 1 is added. So accordingly the value is 1 2 4 8. So total is 14. So answer is 14. So here instead of this and, suppose I'm using here this or, so answer would be the 14. And instead of this, suppose I'm using this or, so the answer would be the 10 because this value, if it is a true false, right, so it will display the true, the same concept, the first value. And here if it is and, it will display the second value and it will display the second value, that is a false value. And if it is here instead of this and, it is a bit operator, bitwise operator. Okay, so like that. So similarly, if you are using a not, so x for the x, so 0 become 1, 1 becomes 0, and here it is a minus 11 because sign bit is 1. Not for x, not for x, and here it is output is minus 11. See, output is minus 11. Okay, similarly, for the XOR, this symbol you have to remember bitwise right shift. Right shift, how many bit number? 2 bit. 2 bit right shift. So here the 2 bit, these 2 bits are removed because here it is shifted at right side. So 0, 0, 1, 0. And these 2 bits are removed from here. So obviously the value is 2. 1, 2. So the output is a 2. And if it is a left shift means 2 0 added here. So obviously this 1 0 goes to here, like here 0 0 1 0. This 1 0 goes to here and 1 0 0 0. So 1 0 0 0 and 1 2 4 8 16 32. So 32 plus 8, that is a 40. So left shift you will get the 40 output. The output is a 40. Okay, so I hope you will remember for a long time the difference between AND and symbolic AND. Okay, these are the assignment operator. You have to remember this assignment operator too, because when you will be in the final year, the many industry arrange your C programming, C++ programming test in which they use this kind of operator. Sometimes it would be difficult for the students to understand, but you have to remember all these operators in second year only. It is very, very simple. It is not difficult. Okay. But the time is over. So we'll discuss this operator in the next lecture. Okay. Thank you, students. Uh, the time is over. Now you can leave the session. And acknowledge, did you understand whatever topic we have discussed today? Acknowledge in a group so that if you want to add a suggestion in a lecture, you can put your message and you can leave the meeting. I will try to implement the same things. Okay. Thank you, students. Now you can leave the meeting. Thank you. The session is over.